Listen up, folks, because this isn't some fairy tale about a dutiful son waiting patiently in the wings. No, this is the raw, ugly truth about Prince William, the guy who planted that infamous kiss of Judas on his own father and swore undying loyalty as his liegeman of life and limb. Remember that? The big ceremony where he knelt down, all solemn and teary-eyed, promising to stand by King Charles through thick and thin? Yeah, well, fast forward a bit, and now he's out there blabbing about his grand plans for when the old man's gone. It's like he's got a calendar on his wall, crossing off the days until he can grab that crown. King Charles better beef up security around his bedroom door and keep an eye on those loyal limbs of his, because his heir apparent is acting like a vulture circling a dying beast. I'm not exaggerating here, tell me I'm being dramatic if you want, but this man is practically salivating over the thought of his father's demise. William's been dropping hints left and right about how he's going to shake up the monarchy, ditching the ways of his parents like yesterday's trash. He's not content to just inherit the gig. Oh no, he wants to reinvent it, make it his own shiny toy. And all the while he's positioning himself as the modern savior of the royal family. But let's call it what it is. A power grab disguised as progress. This prince isn't waiting for fate, he's nudging it along with every interview and public appearance. Hungry for the crown? The guy's starving and he's not even trying to hide it anymore. Think back to that coronation moment. There was William, on bended knee, reciting those ancient vows. I, William, Prince of Wales, do become your liegeman of life and limb, and of earthly worship, and faith and truth I will bear unto you, to live and die, against all manner of folks. So help me God. Sounds poetic, right? But in hindsight, it reeks of hypocrisy. That kiss on the cheek, straight out of the Bible, where Judas betrayed Jesus with a smooch before the crucifixion. Was it a genuine show of affection, or just the prelude to a stab in the back? Fast forward to now, and William's out there briefing the world on his blueprint for the future, as if Charles is already a footnote in history. It's chilling how quickly loyalty turns to ambition when the throne's in sight. What gets me is how blatant he's being about it. William's been chatting up the press, spilling the beans on how he plans to slim down the monarchy, make it more relevant, or whatever buzzword he's throwing around. He says he won't be like his father or his late mother Diana. Oh, the irony there. Diana fought against the stuffy traditions, but she did it with heart, not this calculated coldness. Charles has spent his reign trying to modernize things in his own quirky way, with all that environmental stuff and organic farming. But William, he's acting like he's the revolutionary, ready to gut the institution and rebuild it in his image. Newsflash, Willie. You're not some startup CEO disrupting the market, you're the product of centuries of privilege, and now you're eyeing the top spot like it's a Black Friday deal. Let's break this down, because the devil's in the details, and William's details scream impatience. He's talked about reducing the number of working royals, which sounds efficient until you realize it means sidelining family members who might challenge his vision. Is this about efficiency, or just clearing the deck so he can rule unchallenged? He's hinted at ditching some of the pomp and circumstance, saying the monarchy needs to adapt to the 21st century. Fair enough, but why broadcast this now, while Charles is still warming the throne? It's like telling your boss you're going to repaint the office the day after he retires. Except in this case, retirement means kicking the bucket. The timing stinks of someone who's too eager, too ready to pounce. And don't get me started on his public persona. William plays the relatable dad card, with his kids and his soccer chats, but beneath that folksy charm is a guy who's been groomed for power his whole life. He's got that hunger in his eyes, the kind that says, "Move over, Dad, it's my turn." Remember how he handled the whole Harry mess? Instead of bridging the family divide, he let it fester, positioning himself as the steady one, the future king who's above the drama. But is he? Or is he just biding his time, letting scandals swirl around Charles so he can swoop in as the hero? It's Machiavellian, really. Smile for the cameras, pledge loyalty, then quietly plot your ascent. Critics might say, hey, every heir thinks about the future. Sure, but not like this. William's not just thinking, he's articulating a full-on manifesto. He said outright that his reign will be different, less formal, more focused on issues like mental health and the environment. Noble causes, yeah, but why undermine Charles's efforts now? The king's been banging on about climate change for decades, long before it was trendy. William's acting like he's the first royal to care, stealing the spotlight while his father fights health battles. And let's not forget those health scares. Charles's cancer diagnosis hit the headlines, and what did William do? Stepped up, sure, but with an air of inevitability, like he's already measuring the curtains for Buckingham Palace. This eagerness borders on creepy. Imagine being King Charles, waking up each day knowing your son is out there discussing changes that only happen after you're 6 feet under. Post an extra guard at the bedroom door? Hell, post a whole squadron. William's kiss of Judas wasn't just a peck, it was a promise laced with poison. He's pledged life and limb, but whose? His own or his father's? The way he's talking, it feels like he's willing to sacrifice the current regime for his ambitions. And the public eats it up, calling him progressive. Progressive? Try power-hungry. Peel back the layers, and you see a pattern of subtle sabotage. William's been building his own brand, the Earthshot Prize, his homelessness initiatives, all separate from the king's agenda. It's smart, I'll give him that, but it's also a way to distance himself from Charles's shadow. He's not content to be the Prince of Wales, he wants to be the king in waiting, emphasis on waiting like it's a chore. His comments about not being like his parents? That's a direct shot. Diana was the people's princess, chaotic but beloved. Charles is the intellectual, sometimes awkward but dedicated. William's saying, I'm better than both, without saying it outright. Arrogance much? Now, let's talk about the family dynamics, because that's where the real drama lies. William's marriage to Kate seems picture perfect, but even there, you sense the pressure of the crown weighing heavy. She's been through her own health woes, and he's been the supportive hubby, but is it genuine, or just good PR for the future king? He's using every tool in the book to polish his image, while Charles grapples with a shrinking approval rating. It's like William's playing chess, and his father's the pawn he's about to sacrifice. And the monarchy's rules? William's already plotting to bend them. He's talked about a smaller coronation, fewer traditions, basically, stripping away what makes the royals royal. Is this modernization, or just a way to make the job easier for himself? He doesn't want the hassle of all those ceremonies. He wants the power without the pageantry. Not like his father, who embraced the full weight of history. Charles waited decades for his shot, showing patience William clearly lacks. This prince is counting days, folks, like a kid waiting for Christmas, except the gift is a throne stained with betrayal. William's briefings on his plans feel like eulogies in disguise. When I'm king, I'll do this differently. Translation. Hurry up and die, Dad. It's unseemly, undignified, and utterly unroyal. The kiss of Judas lingers, a reminder that loyalty in this family is as fleeting as a tabloid headline. Charles better watch his back and his limbs, because his son's ambition knows no bounds. But wait, there's more to this sordid tale. Let's dive into William's so-called vision for the future. He wants a lean monarchy, which means fewer royals on the payroll. Sounds fiscally responsible, but who's getting the axe? Cousins, aunts, uncles, the ones who might have their own ideas about how things should run. It's consolidation of power, pure and simple. And his focus on philanthropy? Great, but why not amplify Charles's work instead of overshadowing it? The king's been planting trees and preaching sustainability since William was in diapers. Now the son acts like he's the eco-warrior pioneer. It's theft of legacy, wrapped in green packaging. Then there's the mental health angle. William's big on heads together, talking openly about emotions. Admirable, sure, but again, timing is everything. While Charles deals with the stresses of kingship post-Queen Elizabeth's death, William's out there positioning himself as the empathetic leader. It's like saying, Dad's old school, I'm the new vibe. Undermining much? And don't forget Diana's influence. William invokes her memory when it suits, but trashes the institution she rebelled against. Hypocrisy at its finest. This hunger for the crown isn't new, it's been simmering. From his military days to his air ambulance gigs, William's always sought roles that scream hero. But heroism in a prince looks a lot like ambition. He's bided his time, yes, but now the mask is slipping. With Charles's health in the spotlight, William's steps grow bolder. Briefings on palace reforms, hints at constitutional tweaks, it's all code for I'm ready now. Critics, myself included, see through it. William's not the savior, he's the opportunist. The kiss of Judas was the starting gun, and now he's sprinting toward the finish line, heedless of who he tramples. King Charles, frail but fighting, deserves better than a son who's already writing his obituary.